And now it's time for one of my worst purchases in building my Famicom collection. A beautiful example of why you don't try to collect complete sets for a console. Even if this was just another purchase of just another Famicom game, Oeka Kids' Anpanman no Hiragana Daisuki would be a second-tier educational game. The kind of thing that even if you own it for a collection, you're never going to play it. But it's the second and final game in the Oeka Kids series, a set of games that Bandai made for a tablet peripheral. The tablet peripheral in functional condition is extremely rare, and the 1 or 2 times a year that one is available for sale, it's not uncommon to see it go for several $100s. It also has a microcontroller inside it, which makes it difficult for me to hack together a quick solution for this video. I don't have the tablet, and so I'm going to be resorting to emulation for most of the rest of this. But worse than that, it's the last game for an underperforming peripheral. Nobody bought this one, and so it commands a pretty high price. You can find cartridge-only copies for about 8,000 to 9,000 yen. And again, that's when you can find those cartridge-only copies. At the time of this recording, I could find exactly 3 copies for sale across all the sites that I usually check, and they're boxed, so they command a much higher price. So this is a very expensive piece of plastic that I can't use, and even if I could use it, I wouldn't want to use it. And that is pretty much the definition of being a collector. Anpanman is a beloved character in Japan, one of those where the target audience is very young children, and because everybody loved him when they were 3, they continue to love him. Like Big Bird. He's a helpful superhero whose head is a bun, hangs out with other food-based heroes, and they deal with giant bacteria. Anpanman no Hiragana Daisuki is a collection of 5 minigames. And weirdly enough, despite the title, only one of them involves hiragana. One of the games has you unscrambling the characters. It's just a basic little puzzle here, and some of the characters have more pieces than others. The next minigame has you uncovering characters, and there are 5 hidden in every scene. If you uncover one of the bacteria, then you lose. But it's possible to erase just one tiny square where a bit of the bacteria image will be visible, and then use that information to uncover everyone. Finally, we reach the meat of the game, the hiragana practice. And the whole point here is to teach young kids how to draw their characters. You get the character and a picture of something that begins with that character. Well, except for the 2 characters where no word begins with that character. For those, they just put something in the middle. And for some of these pictures, they really should be written in katakana, the Japanese character set that's typically used for loan words. In addition to all of the hiragana, the numbers 1 to 10 in Arabic numerals are included. The 4th minigame has you spot the difference between 2 images. On the harder setting, the original vanishes after a few seconds. There's 3 different pictures for you to look at, and each of them has around a dozen differences that could appear. The final minigame is an action game where the position that you're touching the tablet moves the person around the screen, and you're trying to catch apples that are dropped by Anpanman while avoiding the bombs dropped by the bacteria. Touching a bomb doesn't kill you, it just stuns you for a moment. There's 2 different modes here, one that locks you onto the left-right axis, and the other that gives you some vertical movement. It's actually easier if they include the vertical movement, because then you can go around the bombs. The whole game is on a timer, and your goal is to just get as high a score as possible before it runs out. So how is this as an educational toy? Well, I think it's better than the first Oeka Kids game. That one just had some drawing tools. But here the educational value is solely limited in copying the hiragana characters. It's not bad, it's just really limited. Unsurprisingly, this game's unknown in Japan, and I kinda wish it was unknown to me, too. It might be functional as a children's game, but it's still up there with the worst purchases I've made for my Famicom collection.